Stacy.
This is my speech assignment for an accomplishment that I've achieved, and I'll go ahead and start. My name is Jessica Jimerson, and I wanted to share with you my experience of achieving valedictorian for my nursing school class. There were many ups and downs and sleepless nights, as I'm sure most of you have experienced also. And there are also many moments that I didn't think that I could pull through. I was just worn out and tired. But I think finally seeing that licensure at the end of the tunnel was what helped me get through all those hard times. But one quote from my instructors that I constantly remember is, "Welcome to nursing school." That's all that they would ever say. That was their answer for everything. Anytime we had a complaint or a worry about something, their answer, "Well, welcome to nursing school." Like it was no big deal. And it was, I just remember the first week of classes, we were being tested almost every day, whether it was on skills or our med calculation test. And there were people out in the hall just crying, breaking down crying because they didn't pass, or they messed up on the specific item. And the instructors put a lot of stress on us, and we were required to pass either our med calculation test with 100, and we only got 3 tries. And so, of course, that was you're constantly worried and wondering if one little tiny mistake, if you forgot to put a 0 in front, if that would cause you to not pass. Also with our checkoffs, we only got 3 tries too. And so you're sitting outside waiting to go in, and you see students coming out who failed for the 3rd time, and you're out of the program. And so it was extremely stressful and hard to cope with, especially in the first couple of months of class. And but I think one of the most rigorous times was preparing for clinicals, because we'd go to school all day on Mondays, and then we'd have to go to the hospital and pick up our patients and get all their paperwork together, and then go home and prepare the paperwork with care plans and drug lists, and have everything ready by the next morning for our clinicals. And with that, I don't remember, there may have been a handful of times that I could get more than an hour of sleep before I had to go to clinicals. And then I wake up and show up to clinicals the next morning, and there's no way I can take care of these patients. I'm half asleep. I'm lucky I brought my stethoscope, and I'm just wondering if I would be able to make it through the day. But each day of our clinicals, we get an evaluation from our instructor, and she would pull us aside and tell us all the things that we needed to work on. And I think that little bit of information gave us confidence, and gave me confidence to keep pushing and trying to strive to be a better nurse. And I think that was a big change in my determination to get better as a nurse and become a better person and find out more things, just learn more things. And another challenge that was extremely hard for me was going from school and then going to a full-time job. So I was going to school, 30 hours a week, and then also trying to work between 36 and 40 hours a week. And I think the only thing that saved me is that my job was at a hospital. And so not only was I going to learn more about what I was already experiencing in school, but I was getting help from the nurses there. And I think that was a major thing that helped in my success in nursing school. Those nurses there at the hospital would help me with my homework, give me pointers on how to manage my time better, or what things I could look for in patients. And that definitely helped me succeed in school. And when it finally came to graduation day, I was just thinking, oh, thank God it's over. Just a big sigh of relief, but also just going back through that year and knowing how much hard work and dedication I had put into nursing school, and just glad that it was finally there. And as I was sitting there, my husband was there at graduation, and he was probably, he was my rock. He helped me get through all those times when you're crying and you're tired and you don't want to do any more homework, and still you have to cook and, and clean, and he was very supportive. And even through all the times I'm sure I was moody and didn't want to help or didn't want to talk to him, he continued to be there and support me. And so it was a very important night for me. And as our instructors were going through all the awards and handing out things, the next award came up to valedictorian. And I knew I had done well in class and had gotten A's on tests, but I never thought that I was going to win that award. Well, she said my name and I was in shock. I sat there for a minute and just a feeling of overwhelming, like I was very proud of myself for having achieved that award and pushed myself through school and work and was able to come out on top. And so I think that a lot of times that the things that you go through, the obstacles that are thrown in your way, make you a stronger person. And I think those times are what defines you and shows you that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And that was probably one of the best moments of my life so far, at least. And hopefully I'll have another one soon when I graduate from RN school.